Hey, what's up guys? Theo Joe here, and today we have a very exciting first look at the LG G6. This is LG's latest smartphone. Really excited to talk about it today. Now, to get a couple things out of the way, first of all, full disclosure, I did get this phone for free, but I do have to send it back, so it's not like I get to keep it. And also, this is not the final version of the phone. This is a production model, so a couple things could change. They wanted me to point that out. So that being said, because this isn't the final version, I'm not gonna do a full review. We're just gonna take a look at some of the coolest stuff we got. Now, the first thing you probably noticed, I know I did, is the huge screen. As you can see, it takes up pretty much the entire body. They say it's an 80% screen to body ratio. This is an OLED, and it is an 18:9 screen, and that turns out to be 2880 by 1440, so it's twice as long as it is high. I also want to point out one of the things I like is even though it is a huge screen, 5.7 inches, it's actually smaller overall, the phone, than my Pixel XL, which is 5.5 inch. So you have this bigger screen, but the phone overall is actually a little bit smaller. So that's pretty cool. It definitely doesn't feel huge in the hand. When I saw it was 5.7 inches, I was like, oh no, is it gonna be huge? But no, because it extends down here, gets rid of the bezel like this one has, so it definitely fits pretty well. I like the ergonomics of this one. Another interesting thing to note about the screen is it actually supports Dolby Vision HDR. I believe this is the first phone on the market, at least it's been announced, that supports it. They included a little promo video in here that kind of shows you the idea, the difference. Really exciting stuff. So now let's move on to the back. It's kind of a fingerprint magnet, but you can see that there are two cameras on here. It's a dual camera system. One is wide angle and one is regular telephoto. And then we also have the fingerprint sensor, very little circle here, and this is also the power button. And what I like about this, kind of like the Pixel phone, you don't have to press in the power button to turn on the phone. As soon as you press your finger on there, and it detects that it's your fingerprint, then it automatically unlocks the phone, turns it on so you don't have to press it. It works really well. We can also look at the sides. Here we have the volume rockers, two separate buttons up and down. Then on the top we have the headphone jack, thank gosh, and what looks to be another microphone as well. On the bottom there's a microphone. And on this side you got the pop out for the SIM tray and the expandable SD storage. It's a nano SIM and regular micro SD. And on the bottom, you can see we got the speakers, a microphone, and USB-C. And it does, of course, allow for fast charging. They call it fast charge. I'm not sure if it's proprietary or just Qualcomm quick charge or something like that, but it does charge very quickly. But one of the more exciting things about this phone is it is waterproof, or technically water resistant. It has a IP68 rating. That means it can be submerged up to a depth of 1 meter underwater for up to 30 minutes. And they actually encouraged us to test this out. They said, hey, shoot it under some jets of water. So I think we can go do that right now. All right, so we're in the bathroom and we're gonna turn on the shower, I guess. This feels so wrong. Let's see what happens. Oh man. All right, well, it's not. I don't wanna get too much water. You can see. All right, it's surviving. There's water going everywhere. All right, that's all I want. That's all I want to put it through. So it's obviously still working. Looks like it works pretty well, and then we can. They said try and charge it on a wireless charger. So why don't we go ahead and do that? All right, so we're fresh out the shower. Let's see if it charges. Got the position. There it goes. All right, so it's charging right after getting soaked. Seems to work pretty well. And I definitely do not want to forget to mention that this phone has Google Assistant. As you can see, it's going to try and see what I'm talking about here, and it actually is pretty good about recognizing what I'm saying. It might have a hiccup, but that is definitely one of the best features about the Google Assistant, is it is really good at recognizing what the heck you're saying. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only other phone besides the Pixel XL right now that does have Google Assistant, so I definitely say the Google Assistant is a significant feature to consider. Finally, we definitely have to talk about the camera, or rather both of them. So on the back, I mentioned before, there's two 13 megapixel cameras, and on the front there's the 5 megapixel front camera. And as you can see, the whole idea is there's two selections here. So this is the wide angle, 125-degree field of view, and the other regular telephoto. I guess it's not really telephoto, but you know what I mean. Pretty average smartphone focal length. We've also got a lot of options. You can see it's got auto and manual. This is something I really wish that other phones would have. You can actually save as a RAW file. You can control the shutter speed or do auto exposure lock. You can increase the ISO, all that fun stuff if you are so inclined, and it can do manual video as well, which is pretty cool. You almost never see that. And we could also go into the settings for more options. As you can see, there's a lot of different options for video resolution. You can do Ultra HD 16:9 or Full HD, and you can even do Full HD 21:9 or 18:9. You can do pretty much any aspect ratio you want, apparently. And that was just for the video. In the photo mode settings, you got even more. So you got save as RAW, of course. Always want to have that on, personally. So that's pretty cool. Another important thing I want to point out is this actually has a histogram. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. You get the red, green, blue. Professional photographers or even hobbyists know that a histogram it's really important, so that is really nice to see. Of course, we can also take a look at some example photos I took instead of just looking at the table. I'd say it's a good camera, definitely a good camera. Not amazing, but it does seem pretty sharp, especially at the lower ISOs, and even in the corners, there's minimal lens distortion, which is really important. A lot of times, you only get the most sharpness at the center, but it seems to hold up pretty well, even at the extremities, which is great. So I think that's all I want to talk about today. Again, this is not a full review by any means. I've only had it for one day. They got it to me yesterday. So this is just a look at some of the coolest, best features on this non-final version. And then if I do get my hands on the final version, that's when I would do the review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you think about this. If there's anything you would want me to cover in the final review, or maybe there's something I completely forgot or you have questions about, definitely let me know down in the comments section. Also, if you want to keep watching, I'll put a link right here to my most recent video. Definitely check that out. Highly recommended. You can click on that even if you're on a phone. And if you want to subscribe, I'm experimenting with making daily videos about tech news, stuff like this, doing product reviews, all sorts of stuff. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in that. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.